We're gonna talk about the who, what, when, where, why, and how of negotiating. And right now, let's start with the who. We are travel therapists. And so what you wanna figure out is, who is it exactly that you are negotiating against, that you're trying to get more money from? And in our industry, there's actually 3 different players that we are potentially negotiating against. The first player is gonna be the recruiter. The way it works is if you were a recruiter, you would be sitting behind your computer and you would probably have a calculator on your computer. You'd see a job and you put in the details of the job, and probably your company says, hey recruiter, you can pay this traveler anywhere from this amount to this amount for the job. They have a range that they can pay us. So the first thing we want to do is make sure, is that recruiter paying us the most money they can pay us inside of that range? The second person that we might be negotiating against is the staffing agency themselves. Once the recruiter has given us the most money they can, the next person they have to go to if we need to make more money is gonna be to their account managers or to their bosses to say, is it okay if you as a staffing agency makes even less money than you normally do so we can get this traveler to say yes to a job? They have to get approval from the staffing agency. The third person that we might be negotiating against is the facility themselves. The facility is the one that sets the bill rate. The bill rate is the amount of money that they are paying per hour for us to come work for them. Sometimes the staffing agency or our recruiter can go to that facility and say, I would like you to pay a higher bill rate for this clinician. And so sometimes we're actually trying to get the facility to pay more money versus trying to get the staffing agency to give us a bigger cut of the money that they're already getting paid. And in each one of these players, there is a different strategy for negotiating with them. And I will go through all of them in depth in later videos. The last thing to think about when you're thinking about who you're negotiating with is, does the staffing agency even allow negotiating at all? There is a few staffing agencies out there, and many times they are the bigger staffing agencies that might have raised venture capital money, and they are trying to do kind of a new flavor of staffing agency. The traditional staffing agency is set up more like a salesperson, and the recruiter takes on the role of the salesperson, and we can negotiate different things. Some of these other companies are trying to say, look, we don't have recruiters here. These are customer service or healthcare advocates that will talk to you about the industry, but they are not allowed to negotiate anything. And there is an algorithm on the computer or someone on the high ups that says, this is what we pay, period. End of day, we don't change it for anyone, no matter how much they ask. Now, it doesn't mean don't work with those companies. Actually, sometimes those companies pay really, really well, sometimes even better than your best negotiating with the other companies, but not always. And so if you like one of those companies, you can always keep them on your team, and all you have to do for those is look up what the job pays and knows that is what it is. Let's see if I can get more over here, or if I do want to work with this company that won't negotiate. So it's just good to know up front. Some companies will allow you to do the strategies I'll teach you. Some of them don't do it. And the best thing to do for that is just compare the pay packages from the start to see which one you want to work with for that particular job.